I think, father," she said, looking downward at the flowers with a moody face. "It tastes bitter enough for that." "Did ever any one hear of such discontent?" ejaculated the father, lifting his eyes towards the heavens, as if invoking Jove himself as a witness of his child's depravity. "To go and run down the Pro! Hasn't the Pro nourished you and brought you up, and maintained you since you were no higher than that?" He spread his dingy hand a foot or so above the buttercups to illustrate his remark. The Pro of which he spoke with so fond an air was the calling of an actor, and this elderly gentleman in threadbare raiment was Mr. Matthew Elgood, a performer of that particular line of dramatic business known in his own circle as the first heavies, or, in less technical phrase, Mr. Elgood was the heavy man. The king in Hamlet, Iago, Friar Lawrence, the robber chief of melodrama, the relentless father of the ponderous top-booted and pig-tailed comedy. And Justina Elgood, his 17-year-old daughter, commonly called Judy. Was she Juliet, or Desdemona, Ophelia, or Imogen? No. Miss Elgood had not yet soared above the humblest drudgery. Her line was general utility, in which she worked with the unrequited patience of an East End shirt-maker. "Hasn't the Pro supported you from the cradle?" growled Mr. Elgood between short thoughtful puffs at his pipe. "Had I ever a cradle, father?" the girl demanded wonderingly. "If you were always moving about then as you are now, a cradle must have been a great inconvenience." "I've a sort of recollection of seeing you in one for all that," replied Mr. Elgood, shutting his eyes with a meditating air, as if he were casting his gaze back into the past. "A clumsy edifice of straw, bulky and awkward of shape. It might have held properties pretty well, but I don't remember travelling with it. I dare say your mother borrowed the thing of her landlady. In the days of your infancy we were at Slowbury in Somersetshire, and the Slowbury people are uncommonly friendly. I make no doubt your mother borrowed it." "I dare say, father. We're great people for borrowing." "Why not?" asked Mr. Elgood lightly. "Give and take, you know, Judy. That's a Christian sentiment." "Yes, father, but we always take." "Man is the slave of circumstances, my dear. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee turn not away. That's the gospel, Justina. If I have been rather in the position of the borrower than the lender, that has been my misfortune, and not my fault. Had I been the possessor of 10,000 per annum, I would have been the last of men to refuse to take a box ticket for a fellow creature's benefit." The girl gave a faint sigh and began to arrange the bluebells and hawthorn into a nosegay somewhat listlessly, as if even her natural joy in these things were clouded by a settled gloom within her mind. "You're in the first piece, aren't you, Judy?" inquired Matthew Elgood, after indulging himself with a snatch of slumber, his elbow deep in the buttercups and his head rested on his hand. "Yes, father," with a sigh. "The Countess, you know." "The Countess in The Stranger, a most profitable part. Don't put on that hat and feather you wore last time we played the piece. It made the gallery laugh. I wonder whether you'll ever be fit for the juvenile lead, Judy," he went on meditatively. "Do you know, sometimes I am afraid you never will. You're so gawky and so listless. The gawkiness would be nothing. You'll get over that when you've done growing, I dare say. But your heart is not in your profession, Justina. There's the rub." "My heart in it?" echoed the girl with a dreary laugh. "Why, I hate it, father. You must know that. Hasn't it kept me ignorant and shabby and looked down upon all the days of my life since I was 2 years old, and went on as the child in Pizarro? Hasn't it kept me hanging about the wings till midnight from year's end to year's end, when other children were snug in bed with a mother to look after them? Haven't I been told often enough that I have no talents, and no good looks to help me, and that I must be a drudge all my life?" "No good looks? Well, I'm not so sure about that," said the father thoughtfully. "Talent I admit you are deficient of, Judy. But your looks even now are by no means despicable, and will improve with time. You have a fine pair of eyes, and a complexion that lights up uncommonly well. I have seen leading ladies earning their 3 to 4 guineas a week with less personal advantages." "I wish I could earn a good salary, father, for your sake. But I should never be fond of acting. I've seen too much of the theatre." If I'd been a young lady now, shut up in a drawing room all my life.